Victoria sat on the couch, flicking through the pages of her favorite magazine. She'd been scrolling through it aimlessly, the words on the page blurring together. She wasn't really looking for anything in particular, just trying to pass time. But then, as she turned to another page, she stopped. There, in full color and glory, was an advertisement that took her breath away. David Beckham. It was his signature underwear ad, the one where he looked effortlessly stunning, his chiseled abs and powerful physique adorned in only a pair of sleek, black boxers. His eyes, piercing and intense, seemed to stare straight through the magazine and into Victoria's thoughts. She had seen the ad before, but today it struck her differently. Her heartbeat quickened. A strange sense of unease gnawed at her stomach. She'd always been proud of her husband, Tom. He was her rock, her partner in everything. They had built a life together, weathered storms, and celebrated victories. But in that moment, staring at Beckham's perfect form, her mind wandered. She didn't know why. Maybe it was the magazine's deliberate focus on the allure of Beckham's raw masculinity, the smooth lines of his body, or the way the fabric of the underwear seemed to hug his form just so. Maybe it was the way they positioned him, effortlessly seductive, undeniably desirable. But the question loomed. Was Tom looking at these ads too? Was he seeing the same things she was seeing? Was there a part of him, some corner of his heart or mind, that wished he were the one in those ads? Would he be tempted by the allure of other women? Or worse, would he fall for it? Victoria didn't know where this sudden insecurity had come from. She'd never been the jealous type. But now, seeing Beckham's flawless body, the idea of Tom finding another woman, someone with all the physical beauty of the supermodel ideal, stirred a cold sensation within her. She shut the magazine, her thoughts spiraling. She couldn't get the image of Beckham's ad out of her head. It felt like a seed had been planted, one that would grow into an intrusive bitter vine if she didn't get it under control. Tom had never been the type to act on impulse, and she knew he loved her deeply. They had been together for 8 years. But wasn't that the same reasoning every married couple clung to when their world was threatened by doubt? A well-meaning assumption, perhaps, but one that never quite stopped the ache in the pit of your stomach. Victoria's thoughts raced. Her phone buzzed on the table. She glanced at it. It was a text from Tom. "Hey babe, I'm going to be late tonight. Got a few things to take care of for work. Hope you're doing well. Love you." The simple message would have comforted her on any other day. But today, for reasons she couldn't fully understand, it didn't. She could imagine him now, sitting in his office, leaning over papers, maybe his attention slipping just for a moment as he thought of something more exciting. Something or someone more glamorous. Someone like her. She shook her head quickly. No, she couldn't think like that. But she couldn't help it. Later that evening, as she and Tom settled into bed, the conversation naturally drifted to his busy day. He mentioned a project he was working on and a few people he'd met with. But something in the way he spoke made Victoria's mind wander again. She wanted to ask, to get to the bottom of these fears, but she didn't know how to phrase it without sounding ridiculous. What if he had been admiring Beckham's ad too? Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. "Tom," she said softly, breaking the comfortable silence. He glanced over at her, his eyes tired but warm. "Have you seen the ad for David Beckham's underwear?" He raised an eyebrow in surprise. "You mean the one with him in those black boxes?" "Yeah, I've seen it. It's everywhere." Do you think he's attractive?" Her voice faltered at the question. She immediately regretted asking it, wondering if she sounded insecure. Tom paused for a moment, then smiled softly. "I suppose he's attractive in the way that models are. But I don't really think about it much. I mean, it's an ad, right? But do you ever wish? I don't know. Do you ever feel like maybe you want to look like him?" Victoria's voice was barely above a whisper now, the words heavy in the air. Tom chuckled lightly, rolling over to face her. Vic, I'm not really into trying to look like other people. I'm good with how I look. And I love you exactly as you are. Why? Are you worried about something? Victoria hesitated, unsure of how to voice the discomfort that had been building inside her. I guess I'm wondering if it's possible that you look at him and think he's got something I don't. You know, like, maybe you think other women might be more attractive than me, or, I don't know.